Good morning, art students. Today we're going to create a Henri Rousseau inspired jungle drawing. Here's one I've done of a parrot sitting on a branch with some jungle leaves round about. The first thing you'll need to do is collect or draw some leaves. I've drawn mine out on paper and cut them out, and different shapes leaves. So I've done a maple leaf, I've done some shards of grass and cut them out, and then a couple of standard leaf shapes. Now these are going to create the border to go around our jungle animal, and then we need to choose an animal to draw from. So I've selected this crocodile that I want to place in the forest, and I'm using a step-by-step sheet. You can find the step-by-step guides on the Google Classroom for the art students at Stantonbury International School. So if you've got access to the classroom, fantastic. If you can't get access to the classroom, you can find loads of tutorials online. So I'm just roughly sketching out a sort of upside down egg shape for the face, then an oval for the rest of the body, and then I'm going to have his tail swooshing around here. And it doesn't really matter too much how big the tail is. The next step is to add the features of the face. So there's where the edge of the mouth is going to go, and the eye. I'm going to start by drawing the front legs. So an oval shape for the top of the front leg, an oval shape for the front of that leg, and then his feet splay out in a sort of fan shape. So we're building up the animal in shapes first of all, and then we'll use our rubber to get rid of any lines that we don't want afterwards. Okay, so back legs, slightly more chunky, so a chunkier oval for the thigh, interlocking a longer oval for the front of the leg, and then the back leg is the sort of leaf shape on this one, and then not forgetting that we'll see some of the thigh on the opposite side and a little bit of the foot sticking out. And I think that's everything. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is use a rubber and just take away some of those lines we don't want. Okay, joining together all the shapes to make the leg. And then adding claws to the feet. So use the rubber, get rid of any adjoining lines that we wouldn't ordinarily see. This one joining into the body, that one joining into the foot. The top of the head would still remain, but we need to change the shape of that a little bit. So first thing I'm going to do is put in the features of the feet, and you'll see he's got four claws. There we are. And on this side I'm using a shading pencil. You can use any kind of pencil you want. You don't need to be able to shade this because we're going to add colour and shading to it later. Now working out what's happening with his eye. and the shape of his head. I'm going to give him the traditional crocodile eye with his slit for the eye, pupil, and I'm going to give him more of a crocodile head shape. So you might see a little bit of his eye on this side, and give him an open mouth. Oh, there we go. Cool. Just adjust it. You can always adjust this as time goes on. It looks a little bit more like a bearded dragon than a crocodile, but we'll go with it. So give the back legs some claws and rub out anything you don't want. Here we go. Okay. Once you've sketched in your animal outline and you're happy with it, you can add some detail to the body, like on the spine, going all the way around into the tail. You might want to add some spikes, give him some pointy teeth, and just make him look a little bit more menacing. I think he looks too friendly, this crocodile. Spikes all the way down the spine. You may also want to add some textures for the scales. Okay. Textures for the scales could just be cross-hatching. On this drawing they've added some crisscrosses to add a diamond texture and make him look a little bit more rough and ready. So I'm going to give him some texture on the face as well. Okay, so there's my animal. I've got the rough outline, which I'm happy with for now, and now I'm going to hide him in the forest. So using the shapes for the leaves that you've cut out, give yourself some undergrowth for this little guy to hide in. So I'm going to use this template for both directions. I want to have a symmetrical jungle. So my grass would go at the front. You could also improvise and add some of your own shards first of all. So there's your foreground. Then think about what's going to go in the background, what's coming in from the sides. So I love these palm leaves. Going to have one coming in from one of the edges. It's going to add to my design and also give it a sort of frame. This pencil is not working for me. It needs sharpening. So get your outline. Once you have overlapped all of the leaves and built up this background, then we need to think about colour, and I'll do a separate tutorial based on colour to help you with your tone, your shading, to add your dark greens, your light greens, and then what to add in the background. If you have a background, you may just want to fill it up with leaves outline. New pencil. Okay, so and think about the other leaves you've used. Could you build those up, layer them, 1, 2, 3, to give you a sort of picture frame? Do you want to draw a couple of trees freehand into the background? Think about the ground that the animal is actually laying on. Do you want to put some small blades of grass around him, make it look as if he's curled up? It's entirely up to you. Now, whichever animal you choose to put in the middle, obviously it has to be an animal that normally lives in the jungle. I wouldn't advise you do a penguin. You could choose from a parrot. You could do a simple butterfly. This is a Year 7 student's work in progress, which has a tiger, and he's chosen to pop a horse in there as well. So you'll see there's a nice frame of leaves, and he started to apply colour. The next video I'll do is about how to add the colour to our Henri Rousseau jungle.